secure architecture for our stuff. After the last stream, I took the code and I ran Claude code refactoring or strengthening or hardening. So I did run a comprehensive code review for the backend and then a UI UX review at the front end. There was a lot of changes. It did things like refactor the big classes into small classes and so on. Oh yeah, we use K12 backend, Kotlin, and we use React frontend. That has caused some problems on your side, so I guess we're gonna start debugging problems I've caused last time, right?
Yeah. So you know what we might want to do from this one is oh no, we're running this in Codeberg, right? Because
that
if we
true,
maybe we won't do it on stream, maybe off stream I'll set up to mirror builds out to GitLab, and then we can build on the CI so that we know that it's gonna work, so that we're not fixing things as we move things back towards each other. So okay, let me get into sharing screen, and let me share. Okay, so today I'm going to try and keep you in the where I can see you, so you don't cause trouble and break any more things.
That's fine.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this makes sense on stream. If you look at it, Juhani, seeing you in the corner here looks bad, then I can switch that. So okay then. So yeah. So what's happened is so I'm running the latest changes. If I flip over to here, homepage works great. If I log in, then we get to this page isn't working, which isn't very helpful. So I think that it's a 502, so it's not like the page doesn't exist. Off the top of my head, I can't remember my HTTP codes. 502 is not 501 would be some sort of auth error, I believe. But anyway, it's a server level problem, I think. So okay, let's get back to. Also, yeah, there's not a lot of very helpful messages here, but we did put in some logging yesterday, I think, right? So let's see if check ktor logs this page returns a 502. See if we can figure out what that is. Been having a lot of challenges with Gemini today. Let's see how this goes. Right.
I think they have the servers are quite overloaded, honestly, on the Gemini side.
It could well be. Yeah. I mean, I'm going through OpenCode Zen. I'm trying to stick with a consistent LLM for my sessions if I can. But yeah, using Gemini Direct through a subscription seems to be a bit challenging. I was doing some stuff very early this morning, same problem. So we'll see. Maybe it's doesn't like me using OpenCode. Yeah, so we were talking this morning, Juhani, about this Gemini 3.1 Pro preview thing, right? Very confusing. And you pointed this out yesterday. Why am I don't know whether it was on stream or later. You know, why am I using this preview? And so I did a little bit digging into that, and the answer is not very clear, to be honest with you. So actually, if you ask Gemini directly, Gemini basically says Pro Preview 3.1 Pro Preview is the latest model. It's just the name. It's because Google haven't officially called it finished yet. But 3.0, it's says it claims it's removed. So we've got to use 3.1 Pro Preview. I guess we are training it. I guess is the point. Something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. So we're training it with all our KTOL stuff. Let's see. I think it's also probably just trying to get to grips with the updates to the project, perhaps.
Yeah, it's quite a bit changes,
Yeah.
but say Claude is usually quite a bit faster.
Yeah. It's hearing you're becoming more and more of a Claude fan, I think.
I try not to become fans of things like this. I've gone down the path before.
Yeah.
But this is basically the experience seems to be that this is very anecdotal, but Claude is seeming to handle the code a bit better.
Yeah.
Very anecdotal, of course. Yeah, it probably depends on the project a lot, but Gemini I still like it for UI.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that with something like Kotlin, the training data for Gemini is going to be really good. I would hope.
I'd assume so, yeah.
Okay, so what's it saying? So it's trying to the back end, but the back end is currently dead and not listening to the port. Okay, it seems like spend a lot of time figuring that out. So, okay, but now why? Servers crashed during a build, recent code changes causing compilation errors. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so it's this next cloud client is falling over. Proposed plan, fix the compilation errors. That's a good start. Auto reloads. Oh my God, yeah. We'll see if that will kill my laptop again. Verify. Okay, let's shift out into build mode. Like, do it. There's in my family. There's not my family. With my kids. There's a sort of a reference we make to in Star Wars. I think it's the last which Star Wars movie is it? Basically the one when Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader, whichever one that is. There's a moment where Palpatine says, "Do it." So whenever we get a chance to say "do it," we'll say. That's what I just tell the LLM today.
There you go.
Just do it. Okay, so this is interesting. So no Java. Cannot access, but I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, this is one of the changes I did. I'm sorry. This is cost. Basically, I told the LLM that's going to be multiple people using it. Don't hard code any paths.
Well, that's
should go to some other. It should try to take them from some variables.
Let me. Oh, what's?
It's not in the path.
Oh, right. It's not on my path, but I bet if I do this, so this might actually be my fault. Also not. Wait, did it switch to bash? No, it didn't. Okay, that's. I think I'm still getting my environment a little bit better set up, so it might well be me.
It should be able to figure it out though, because for
Yeah.
me it installed like 3 different Java versions, and then it got one.
Well, that's what I'm a bit worried about, because I had installed SDK man which is a very nice way of
You had
managing
it for
Java
sure.
versions. So, but I think Gemini is just dog slow today. If it keeps being slow, I'm gonna switch to Claude.
It really is laggy. I think it is really server lag. I think at this
Yeah,
case.
let me
I've seen
just
this
shift in.
before. Yeah.
Okay, models. Let's do Claude. Oops, let's just do 4.6. I don't need to eat all my money. Okay, resume the fix. Let's see. I'm guessing it was just going to pick up the context. Oh yeah, look, it did find a SDK man. Which is correct. I don't know why this has always been a painful thing. The Java environments have always been painful. I don't know why. Should be easy, right?
It really is. Since Eclipse days, trying to get Java home working.
Yeah.
It
shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, if I do, I mean, having said that, if you get into the world of Python versions, you also probably want to switch off your computer and go and do something else.
Yeah,
but I found that with Node, I mean, I'm not really a big Node person, but I think these days you kind of can't escape it. And the MVM is really useful, Node Version Manager. So I would never install any Node thing without NVM. And then you can just say, oh, today I need this version of Node or a later version or whatever it is. But I don't really know how to, well, I mean, I don't do it any other way, so I'm sure there are other more sensible ways to do things. So Claude's also having a lot of fun at the moment. What's going on here? Let me let me just also do something else quickly. I was just seeing if, just looking at some of my processes here, seeing whether it's struggling with Java running, but it's not. Permission. Yeah, okay, you're fine doing that. Okay. Kato's running. That's great. Okay, go on. Task run. Okay. The fans have started up already. I can hear them. you and your Java.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just one mistake was made. Out loud. Should we do Kotlin?
I'll send you my electricity bill.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Connected. Ports failed. Connection refused. Being killed when the bash tool times out. Yeah. This is the thing where you don't want to have to do. I mean, the old days when you have to kind of walk through this was like very frustrating. I mean, but it's bad enough to have to watch the LLM to do it. Yeah. So whilst we're waiting for this to keep going, should we just talk a little bit more about the kind of evolution of this, Juhani? Whilst we're...
Go ahead.
Because so the critical piece we need to wrap up is just the user management and effectively making sure that the Nextcloud. So we've got a photo sharing product, which Nextcloud is going to be hidden from the users. Nobody needs to know it's Nextcloud there. So that every time I add a new user to the photo sharing app, there needs to be some Nextcloud user for that person in the background. So that's the piece we want to do, because once we've got a really basic thing, we can actually start, probably you and I, sort of sharing. Maybe we'll deploy it somewhere and start sharing some photos and start seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
Even with a very basic UI, we can start doing that. I'll have to start taking photos of my food to share with you, or something.
Social media is for, right?
Well, yeah, might be a bit revealing the quality of food I eat compared to you. I'm not eating sports food, that's for sure.
Pasta is sports food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. The goal should be to get into state of us being able to experience it, to understand what is really needed.
Yeah. I think that could be an interesting to see what we feel is. I think we'll identify a whole lot of stuff that's missing. We should figure out how we're going to record all of that. Okay, so what's it? Backend compiles and starts fine. The fix works. The issue is that my bash tool sessions are ephemeral. Okay, so should we try? Let's just try run it. And let's no Java home. Wait, it's error. Java home is not set to Java. Please set the Java home variable. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that's probably then my fault. Let me fix this quickly. I'll just do this here. Set. Let me. I'll just try and do this off stream. And the other thing I can do is probably fix this. There you go. This might be the one. Okay. Right, so we've got an S2 installation. Okay. Bear with me, guys. So I'll get this. It's probably not something I need to do in the screen share. Just to get my Java thing working.
Well, this Java thing used to be our day job for.
It did. For our sins. There's a. Although then it used to be horrible stuff like J2EE servers. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've got an evil plan. Let me just fix this one problem, and I think I've got it covered. Okay. So basically, I'm just here. So the problem I think is what's happening is okay, right. Let me come back here. So, okay, I got a couple of different shells running here, so it's kind of my environment that's causing the problem. So now I think this is going to work. So let's just do dev.sh. Starting, there you go. There you go, it's starting now. So it's not your refactoring. Let's just say it's probably not your refactoring. It might not be your refactoring. Okay, we're back. Let's do login with Nextcloud. Yes, there we go. Currently logged in as John Smith. So one thing I did yesterday off stream was I created a script that puts 3 users into Nextcloud. So what we can do is we can use that script to basically clear out Nextcloud, all the users and data, and then reset all of the users again from scratch. So there are 3 users. There's John Smith, I think there was Anne Brown, and whatever, Paul Blanc or something like that. I can't remember the third one. But anyway, there are 3 users in here now. So John Smith's password. There we go. But that's okay. We could not load the photos. Please refresh. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think there are any photos.
Yeah.
Let's just. Can I? Okay. Let's just talk. Let's just ask whether. Should we just?
But you are able to access the Nextcloud console as well, or the Nextcloud web interface as well, to check what's there.
I do have access to that as well. Yeah. Do you want to have a look?
Wait, good to see what's there.
So I can log in as in a separate browser, because at the moment I'll be John Smith, right?
Okay.
So if I look in the files, there should be nothing here, in theory.
By
All
default,
files.
it puts photos in there, but there's nothing in circles.
So it has got. There is one. Actually, maybe I uploaded that one yesterday as a test. So it should be able to find this one.
It should, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then there might be a.
Let me ask
in the
open
console.
code. Yeah. Login problem solved. But now the photos of the user, John. In the UI, even though the files are on. So what's happening from yesterday is that when we upload a photo, it's storing the file in Nextcloud, but it's also making an entry in, if I'm not mistaken, in our own Postgres SQL database as a sort of pointer to that photo. So that's a potential breaking point, of course, because we might have things pointing at photo objects that either don't exist in Nextcloud or something goes wrong. So maybe that's what we'll see here.
That should be fine, though. That should be something that should be recoverable.
Yeah.
'Cause that might happen. Somebody might delete it in the back end or something, you know.
Yeah.
But having them in the local database is important to build a UI that is responsive.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be fine. If there's a process that can scan those folders and just make sure that those images are known.
Yeah,
that should be fine.
There's actually quite a bit interesting stuff you can do that. I remember in the Android days, you could, for example, pick a dominant color for placeholder. Basically, some data that is not critical won't leak the content of the photo. So you just pick a dominant color, so you have nice placeholders while the photos are loading, especially mobile internet connection, something like that. So you can do nice things when you have metadata of the photo. You capture the resolution, you capture maybe title, something like that. Yeah, that's definitely something you can.
You don't need any loading states. It's going to load so quickly, Juhani.
Yeah.
Instant photos.
That's it.
What could go wrong?
Random question.
Yeah.
What is the default port and admin console URL for Home Assistant?
No idea.
So I now have the network's connection set up, and I have my Home Assistant yellow in the network.
It's something like 8123. Try that.
8123. Yes, that's a proper nerd. That's correct. That's correct.
I was just sitting here. It's funny how the brain works, right? Because I mean, I genuinely didn't have an idea, and I was sitting there thinking about the room I was in when I was setting up my Home Assistant, and just sort of replaying that scenario. It's kind of funny. Okay, now, sorry, I'm gonna have to escape this because I'm now back at my stupid Claude. I mean, Google not responding. Okay. Okay, so this is the thing I think is quite good with Nextcloud that's here is that, so what's happening is that, okay, this is the table, the PostgreSQL has nothing to do with Nextcloud. So that's our PostgreSQL table. Yeah. And it is looking at, so there's a command line interface somewhere up here, if I think I was doing right, where, so it can inspect parts of the Nextcloud instance and stuff. Although here it's just looking straight at the database. And then, okay, so what's it found? Nullable, not null. So, okay, there it is. The Nextcloud's owner column is defined in the Kotlin entry, but does not exist in the database table. Okay, so I guess that's a refactor, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay, the file exists. So this is maybe this is the one where it's checking the file exists. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we'll add the missing column to the database. Change the database schema. Do we need this Nextcloud owner column. Do we need that? I guess so.
Don't know.
I don't know either. So, because we've got the Nextcloud ID, we've got the name of the user. I mean, we could ask what data will go. Let me just ask it, because what's data stored in the new owner column? Rather than just blindly Nextcloud owner column, accepting cloud owner column. It gets a little bit too easy just to say yes to the LLM, right?
It does,
Without-
yeah. But again, like it depends a little bit on what state you are in a project. Again,
True.
we are trying things around to
That's true.
get things working. It's not super critical.
Okay, it stores the Nextcloud username, but have we not got that already? Isn't that just this name column? No, Nextcloud ID column, sorry. Must be a Jeep. Ah. Just to join lookup from the user table. Okay, I think this makes a little bit more sense. No schema migration needed, no backfill. Okay, yeah, I think that looks better. Do it. Today's instructions to the LLM will be do it, I think.
Yeah.
Going to have to come up with more creative ways of telling that LLM to do its work. I was, whilst I was doing it last night, helping one of my kids with a science project, that's mentioned before, helping, aka taking over. And we're making this UI of this temperature reading project anyway. And we're like, oh, we can make it NASA looking, we can make it Star Trek looking. And then I was like, oh, we can make it like in the Alien movies, right? Which of course he hasn't seen the Alien movies, so it rather kind of ruined the idea. But then as we were looking through the sort of images from the, not the Alien movies of the Alien, but of all of the technology in the Alien movies.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, why are the screens kind of curved? You know, it's like, yeah, good question. And it's like, why does it look so old? Aren't they in space? Yeah. Isn't this meant to be in the future? And it's like, yes and yes.
The right answer for all of these tiling things is always Warhammer 40,000. That's what I
really?
always
Yeah.
do. Deptus Mechanicus, and everything looks old, and there's an explanation. That's what I always do.
There's a reason for it. Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. Now let me do. What was? Okay. Starting KTOR. Okay. Put that down. Okay, everything's started okay from here. That's fine. Here we go. There we go.
Sweet.
Okay.
Working.
Now we're back to where we were. I said that's great.
Back to start point. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so let's just, now that we're back here, refocus on what we're trying to do. We want to be able to add somebody to this circle, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's
So
start with some UI that allows us to add a person to the circle. And
so I think well, I was thinking about it when you were
yeah,
coding. So I don't think we need to worry about the user creation yet, because we can fake all of that by
yeah,
creating users manually on Nextcloud. So that's fine,
yep,
right? We know we can do that because we asked Gemini, and Gemini told us how we can do it. So we have an
true.
access to do that.
Yep.
Now, yes, so if we can get the users added to and removed, all of this kind of stuff, we can start using the whole thing.
Yep.
We can start experimenting. How does it feel? Yeah, so yeah, I agree. That's a very long way to say yes.
So
I'm turning into a British person. I'm
yeah,
hanging out
exactly.
too much.
I'm feeling proud of you right now. So okay, we've got 3 users. So to keep it simple, we've got 3 users at the moment in Nextcloud. How about we just do one kind of iteration with the LLM so that we can assign one of those other 2 users to this circle,
Yes.
so we don't have to create the user, right?
Yes,
Or
exactly. And then we
yeah,
can test that the other user doesn't see anything,
yeah,
and there's a good state of failure.
yeah. So we'll have
And then
2
this
users
user
who
can
can see the
see.
yeah, yeah,
And then we can start talking about this. How do we add
okay,
the different? Yeah, this is a good way to do it. Now we need to design a user interface. This is
okay,
important. That this is a critical point of an open source project type of development, where 2 developers are sitting in a room saying, "I need to add a user," and there's certain ways we think as users without, which is
yeah,
very technical. It doesn't matter. But now we need to think about from user's perspective, saying, how would you say, okay, let's say you want to share with your family. You have just created, so you as a user, you're in a state where you have just created a circle, you have an account, you want to invite other people to your circle. Now the
yep,
process probably would be something like send an email, pick an
WhatsApp,
email, it's going to be sent there, they're going to have
yep,
a link, which then is going to create an account for them,
yep,
because they need to have the password to
yep,
Nextcloud, all of this kind of stuff. And after that one, they are automatically going to be added in here.
yep,
So you as a user now, what you're going to be adding is an email, right? And I assume somehow, I don't know if you want to. So now we come to back to a little bit this how this is going to be running, because
yeah,
if this is a family contained instance, you can just say, let me just search for people here. Say, okay, Nextcloud, for example, our company Nextcloud, there's no safety,
right,
security, privacy leak if I can search who's on it, because they are all my colleagues. But
yep,
if this is a shared instance of other people, even showing other people's names is going to be privacy leak.
right,
And you can't do that, especially in the European Union.
agreed,
So if we want to make it quickly now, just to hack something together, we probably want to invoke the Nextcloud user directory, saying, show me the user directory, let me add somebody there, and then you add it. But if you want to kind of insulate us from potential problems later on, we need to think how this is going to work. I have no answer.
yeah, good questions. So here's my initial thinking is that as we've got somebody called John Smith, I think that John Smith person has to have their own list of people that they know, right? That's not nothing to do with Nextcloud. We have to store that outside of Nextcloud,
Okay.
and they have to point to Nextcloud users. So we start to create Nextcloud starts to become in part like a user database, and also a file store. It's basically how we're using it, right?
So we will have to have our own in the photo circles database, user database.
Yes.
We need to have a link from an email address or name to what the Nextcloud user actually is.
Yep.
which is fine.
We
I
need
guess.
many to many. If I'm going to get this right, I haven't spent time with databases for a while. Many to many table that joins the user table back to itself, right?
Yes.
Or something like that.
So, should we accept a limitation at this point that people added is the identifying information for John Smith is the email address of the person they want to invite?
No, I think let's keep it.
The other option would be at this point to make it easy to say, okay, well, we accept that we will later need to figure out who can see who in a list. And we just say invoke directly the Nextcloud user directory and say, when you say add a person to your circle, we just go and fetch all the Nextcloud user directory and we let people filter the list and select one and then invite that person. That's going to create a very simple user interface at this point. And whenever we add a user to the Nextcloud, whatever, we add a user in the Nextcloud, it's going to appear on the user directory, which I assume we can access.
So coming back to the general approach. So so this is a really fantastic opportunity for us to kind of get lost in another branch of thinking, right? Yeah. So with this kind of iterative, experience-driven development, right, where we're trying to get the user experience right, we have to say, where do we spend our time on user experience? Because we can't spend it on everything all at the same time. So maybe the easy thing to do is to say, we could set a couple of rules, right, and hard code a couple of rules. So in my head, the very easiest thing is to say is like, John Smith, I don't know if this is the best. John Smith always adds Anne Brown to his circles automatically in the back end. So we don't even have to see it. We just know that it's a rule there. And then the third person, whose name I can't remember, I'll look it up in a minute. The third person never gets added to those circles. So we have our three states. We have the owner of the circle, the guest of the circle, and then the person who's not invited to the circle.
Yes.
And so we hard code that in the logic for now.
We can do that.
That would avoid all UI, but we kind of would know it implicitly.
We can do that. We can do that.
Should we start with that? I think the one thing we do need to have in the UI is some visibility of who is in the circle, so that we're not guessing. We can see in sort of black and white.
That's a UX thing we need to solve.
That's a small UX thing we have to solve. So let me just come in here and in Nextcloud there is a clean state.json. So this reset dev.s. Let me just make my why is that not working? This reset.dev is the thing that hydrates the system again. So I just want to do this so that I can remember Frank Blanc. I thought, rather than just using English names, I'll try and spice up a bit. Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we just say that Anne Brown is always going to be in every circle that John Smith is in. And Frank Blanc will never be in those circles, and just see what Claude does. Okay, so we want to hard code some states for testing. No, let's change this. Let's forget the states for a second. Let's describe. So in a circle, can be accessed by multiple people. The owner controls who has access. the list of all users in Nextcloud should never be visible to any user. Plan implementation. Okay. So let's see.
So we might not got very far today. I just realized that I am about to join a meeting quite soon.
Okay, that's fine.
But I think that's fine. We kind of got into the preparation of the user.
Yeah, let's maybe get to the point. If you got time, how long have you got? You got another 10 minutes or 5 minutes?
7 minutes. Yeah.
7 minutes. So by the end of the 7 minutes, what I think we'll get to is we'll get to an understanding of hopefully this idea of probably a separate table that stores the access to the circle. I'll just agree with Claude the implementation, and I can either on stream or off stream complete the implementation here. I've actually also got someone I need to talk to today. So okay. Yeah, what are we going to do when all the AI companies get taken out?
To really learn to code.
I don't know.
The open source models are getting pretty good though. So I kind of have the feeling that at the moment they're lagging behind. But if they lag 1 year behind, in 1 year, that means they should be doable. What I see with the open source models, especially if you look at the latest Gemma release, when it was first released, it was unusable, but now it's running on phones.
Right.
People are optimizing super hard. Like, there's a lot of very, very smart people out there. When you release these open source models, they tend to get better because people care, and you can do cool stuff with them.
I think they're pretty. I think they're pretty good at, with a clear sort of execution plan. I think the open source models are pretty good. I think this sort of exploration piece where you're saying, we've got some sort of requirements. I'm not going to tell you how to do the work. Go and figure out how to do it. I think those, the bigger models are going to be better, of course. More thinking capability. And I think this is the thing, is that you don't want to do all of this. It's like when humans do it, right? The more thinking you want developers to do during the process of writing the code, the harder it is. Simple, right? And it's the same with the LLMs, right? And the less predictable the outcome. Right? Okay. How should the circle owner find users to invite? Search by exact username, no. Another option is search by prefix, no. I think let's type in the answer. A user has own address book of user. I'm not sure if address book is the right way of own. Users that he has invited, has connected. There should never be any searching. Users invite only. Let's do that. Invite flow. Should take immediate effect. Let's just do invite immediate join for now. because we don't want to get into a thing where we got URLs generated and click. I think just for now.
Yeah, to get to a point where we can experiment with the core functionality as soon as we can. Yeah.
Should only be able to designate other admins to also change members. Only owner for now. Just keep it simple. Okay. I think Juhani, you might want to step out.
Yes.
In fact, I might want to step out as well. Let me just check my calendar.
I wonder.
Yeah.
The Riverside Studio owner, I might have to. It might end the stream for everybody.
Yeah.
I'd just say today was a bit shorter one.
Yep.
Preparation for user experience things. I think something that I think could be quite interesting for us to do, maybe next time, is to fire up an Android app for this.
Okay.
Because that could be a very quick, assuming you create it once quickly, to kind of have an endpoint. Because I think the end goal for this application is not to be browser centric.
Correct. Yeah.
It's more about family, to be able to browse a nice stream of applications and the photos. I mean, and the an Android application could be a very good place to experiment. Just a very simplified, no control stream of photos, and just experience of nice things.
Can I make put another idea out there for us to think about? So by the end of this week, we've kind of done some technical spikes. I mean, for me, this is all technical spikes, making sure that the Nextcloud connections are working, and we're happy with that. So we should be there by the end of this week. Yeah. I wonder, as a kind of more like question, whether we've been talking about information architecture recently, and I wonder whether, let's talk about the process maybe next week, or next stream. What the process is, at some point we'd want to create an information architecture because it clarifies our thinking about the relationships between not just features but data as well. I think it's hard to design good apps without thinking about information architecture and transitions and flows and all of that stuff.
Agreed.
Whether it's too early to do that, maybe we need to kind of investigate some more before we do that. But let's have that discussion about when it's appropriate for us to start thinking about information architecture.
Agreed. Yeah. Okay, that's a good for next time.
Cool.
Thanks, Jasper. Thanks everybody for watching, and see you.